Imagine dedicating your blood, sweat, and tears to achieve one of the most unforgettable victories in college basketball history, only to be told decades later that you have no claim to compensation for how your legacy has been monetized. That's exactly what happened to the iconic 1983 NC State men's basketball team, whose lawsuit over name, image, and likeness (NIL) rights was recently dismissed by a judge. And this is where things get controversial. Should former athletes have a say in how their past achievements are used for profit today? The case stems from a group of players from the 1983 National Championship winning squad, affectionately known as the Cardiac Pack, who sought compensation for decades of alleged exploitation. Under the guidance of legendary coach Gin Valvano, these players captured the nation's attention with an electrifying run through March Madness, culminating in a dramatic last-second victory against heavily favored Houston. According to the lawsuit filed last year, the NCAA allegedly profited immensely from the team's historic win, reaping millions from broadcasts, merchandise, and media coverage, all without compensating the very athletes whose efforts made it possible. As ESPN reported, the suit accused the NCAA of systematically and intentionally misappropriating the players' publicity rights. But here's the twist. A North Carolina judge ultimately ruled against the former players, dismissing the case due to its untimely nature and lack of evidence showing a violation of enforceable legal rights. This decision highlights a broader debate about fairness and justice when it comes to NIL policies, especially for student athletes from earlier eras, while current college athletes now benefit from recent changes allowing them to earn money off their names, images, and likenesses. Stacey Miller, the attorney representing the former NC State players, expressed pride in her clients despite the outcome. In a statement to WRAL, she emphasized that these athletes were standing up to challenge a system they believe exploited young people for far too long. These Cardiac Pack players took a courageous step forward, Miller said, framing their fight as part of a larger movement toward equity in collegiate athletics. To fully appreciate why this moment still resonates so deeply, let's revisit the magic of the 1983 tournament. The Wolfpack entered March Madness as a number 6 seed, a ranking that suggested they might not even make it past the early rounds. Yet, game after game, they defied expectations, pulling off narrow wins that earned them their nickname. Their first-round matchup against Pepperdine ended in a nail-biting 69-67 finish. Next, they toppled powerhouse UNLV 71-70, followed by a commanding 75-56 win over Utah in the Sweet 16. Perhaps their most impressive feat came in the Elite Eight, where they edged out top-seeded Virginia 63-62 in another heart-stopping contest. The Final Four saw them dispatch Georgia 67-60 before facing Phi Slama Jama, the high-flying Houston team led by future NBA stars Clyde Drexler and Hakeem Olajuwon, in the championship. The championship game itself became the stuff of legends. With seconds left on the clock and the score tied, Derek Whittenburg launched a desperate shot that fell short, but Lorenzo Charles swooped in midair to grab the ball and slant it home just before the buzzer sounded. It was a moment frozen in time, sealing NC State's place in basketball lore. Neither Whittenburg nor Charles was involved in the recent lawsuit, but their heroics remain emblematic of the team's underdog spirit. Interestingly, much like the 2024 NC State team that also rode a Cinderella wave to reach the Final Four, the 1983 squad secured their tournament berth by winning the ACC tournament. Their improbable journey inspired the ESPN documentary Survive and Advance, which chronicles their season and showcases how grit and determination can overcome overwhelming odds. The phrase survive and advance has since become synonymous with underdog stories across sports, serving as both a rallying cry and a reminder of what perseverance truly means. So, where does this leave us? Is the dismissal of the 1983 team's NIL case a reflection of the law's limitations, or does it signal a need for systemic change to address past injustices? Should there be exceptions or retroactive measures to ensure older athletes aren't left behind in the evolving landscape of college sports? These are questions worth pondering, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think former athletes deserve compensation for past exploits? Or do you agree with the court's ruling? Share your opinions in the comments below.